All right, good morning, guys. Back at it with another MLB DFS slate. Funk is back from the dead. Glad you can be here. Um, Yesterday was just a high-scoring slate. Lizardo was 40-ish% owned, depending on what contest you play, but he got 61. Gleyber Torres left the game early, but got a home run. LeMahieu 1 for 3, a run and a walk. Bobby Wick came in kind of clutch towards the end, but I mean, it's 12 points, but sort of helped. The only other big deal was Corbin Carroll not being terrible. Got 28 with a home run, doubled up. I'm happy. It was just a very high scoring slate yesterday. Any other takeaways from yesterday?
uh Gurriel sold like the last 3 days for us, it feels like. 0 for 5 yet again, and he had the bases loaded on his last out. So that could have been a nice jump, 15, 20 points on one hit there because we had some guys on base too. But yeah, it is what it is. I mean, doubled up. Chalkiest pitcher on the slate went for 60, so you can expect a fairly high line. One guy I mentioned to Justin before we started was Rizzo, and I was like, "Is today the finally the day he breaks out?" We went Bowers over him, and then of course he goes for a nice 40 piece. Uh, Other than that, Lane Thomas stealing 4 bags, kind of out of his pocket. Gunnar Henderson just continues to blow up every freaking slate. Stephen Kwan hit one out, which again, it's just frustrating. And Bellinger has been the best bat in like the last month. That's about it.
It's crazy, but we cash. Feels good. Funk just entered into the $100 single entry, so we must have a day today. It's a pretty condensed slate, though. Pretty interesting, though. So right now for pitching, you Darvish, Luis Castillo, Logan Allen, Kenta Maeda. I think I just listed off the 4 people you need to consider, but this is everything here. Do we just play Darvish and say, okay?
Yeah, I was kind of considering not playing him just because of the ownership, but then I saw it was bobblehead night for him, and now he's just pretty much a lock. I mean, but being real, he's in a great spot here. You get $1,000 savings basically off Castillo, who's also on the road in like 90-degree weather in Minnesota. I don't know. I can just see him getting 8 Ks, maybe a couple earned, and gets you like 35. I think Darvish is just safer to get you 40. Berrios, I don't play anyone against the Dodgers. He's been good. And if you want to play Berrios, go for it. He's the most positively leveraged pitcher on Fanduel, so sure, just not for us. Logan Allen, KC sucks. Go for it if you want. Don't think he's as in play because of his lack of ability to get quality starts recently. Um, he has been limiting hits, which is nice, but he cannot keep his walks down to save his life. So I don't know. He's kind of a mid tier guy. He should be about appropriately owned 10, 15%. John Gray has been terrible for like, I don't even know how long now, at least a month. I don't think I can play him here on the road against Houston. Bilac seems a little overpriced. Maeda, sure. I don't know. He's questionable. I feel like I never see him get past like the 90 pitch count. I mean, he could still get you to 6 innings in that amount of pitches, which he's shown recently, but I don't know. Maybe I like him more than Castillo for the price, and it's like a fairly even game. I think Seattle's like minus 120. He can get you 40, sure. Ashcraft, we talked about playing him at 6,600 his last start. I don't know if I could play him at 8K with his lack of strikeouts. I think some ownership is going to go to Patrick Corbin just because he's playing Colorado and he's been somewhat okay. don't think I really want to challenge that when there's some just more clear spots today, and no one below him. Yeah, Carroll. I would cut it off at Corbin, and he's questionable at best.
Yeah, pretty much. If you're making your own lineups, just consider Darvish, Castillo, Logan Allen, even Maeda. Wait, yeah. Maeda is only or is getting 14% ownership, which is interesting, but I mean, he was on the IL for the longest time. It's kind of a good-ish matchup against Seattle. I prior to us doing this, I never got you Darvish right. So I'm always like a little skeptical playing him, but I mean he's playing Pittsburgh, knock on wood. Um Castillo 10-8 only getting 10% looks a little intriguing. I don't know if I trust Seattle. I mean, I kind of do trust Seattle more than Minnesota to, swing and win the game, if I'm being honest. Logan Allen against Kansas City, I don't mind at a bit of a discount from Darvish, but I would probably rank it you Darvish. I'd probably rank it Darvish, Allen, Castillo, Maeda. More so only Allen just because of the price tag. If you if you had to rank them, those four, what would you rank them?
Yeah, honestly, I'd probably rank it the same way ownership's going. Darvish, Castillo, Maeda, Allen. But obviously, if you're playing in tournaments, you're probably going to flip those around a bit.
Nice. Let's do stacks. So it's got St. Louis, Arizona, San Diego, Dodgers, Nationals. The whole list is here. I'm not going down the list. Um, some interesting spots today, but where are you landing on?
Yeah, I wrote down 6 teams originally: Cleveland, Colorado, Milwaukee, Texas, Arizona, St. Louis. And the stack tool has St. Louis #1 and Arizona 2. I probably flip those, to be honest. Maybe it's a pricing thing based on top stack percentage because St. Louis has been so shit that their price tags are probably pretty fair. I haven't looked. And Arizona is definitely not cheap. So I get the rankings there. Definitely both of them in play. San Diego's kind of popping. They're kind of just meh for me. Dodgers against Barrios, definitely some good home run potential there, which can definitely take you to the top leaderboards on Fanduel because home runs count for so much. I don't know if I can afford them. I'd like to get a couple, but we'll see. Washington's been kind of hot playing against Kaufman. I think CJ Abrams has scored 30, like 10 slates in a row. Just absolutely egregious. So Washington's like maybe like a good value stack. They're showing up as third best value stack. Colorado on the other side is pretty interesting. They're actually a better value stack and coming in at the same ownership as Washington. So I think they're a good pivot. Um, was surprised to see Texas so low. Every time we say that, they usually just don't do anything anyways. But it is odd to see like one of the best offenses in baseball be pretty low in the stack tool.
I know that Texas is a good team, but Seager's on the IL. That's like a big
Uh,
piece of their offense. But I mean, they still have Simeon, Young, Heim, all those guys. But I saw that yesterday when I was placing prize picks plays, and I was like, no shot.
looks like the
I,
most owned team is going to be Toronto, which is interesting to say the least. It's probably a pricing thing and their position eligibility. Like they fit certain pieces that you might not like to get to. I'm gonna just pull up their tags real quick, see where they're coming in at, because I was surprised to see them with the most ownership. Yeah, I bet Springer is gonna be like 20% at 3,300. Chapman at 3K, Bell at 2.9. Bell came through for you yesterday. I guess. I mean, Michael Grove hasn't been any good, so I guess Toronto's in play. But yeah, I'll probably just condense to the teams I had previously said: St. Louis, Arizona, Milwaukee, Cleveland, Colorado, maybe some Padres, Dodgers, some good home run odds, and then I guess if you want to play chalky, Toronto.
So you brought up Abrams from Washington. Was that Saturday night that you were like, "Oh, Abrams has been hot, hits a nuke"?
Yeah, that was.
We tend to do that a lot. So Funk is the one that I was gonna say majority, but you always make the lineups. But he'll text me like, "Oh, what's this 2v2 swap you like better?" Or give me some bad, like he'll ask for ideas. We'll always like, "Oh yeah, this looks good." And then the original lineup goes for like 100 plus points. So we were kind of talking about bats. He's like, "Oh, Abrams has been hot. He's good." Hits like a 3-run home run like late in the game or some crap. Yeah, Saturday was kind of brutal. Um, both sides of St. Louis and Arizona look good. Adam Wainwright versus Ryan Nelson, projected to be the best stacks. Obviously, chalky bats there. I think we just need to. I mean, it kind of depends on how today goes. I think we just need to accept that Jose Barrios is just a good pitcher. Like last year, he just got lit up a lot and gave up a bunch of power and hits and all that. But I mean, this season, he's been actually pretty good. And I kind of don't like him because he's a former Twins pitcher, but he's actually had some good outings recently. Um, Dodgers, I like here still. I keep trying to tell myself that San Diego's gonna make a comeback because you got Soto. I know Manny Machado's been hot. You got Tatis. They're playing against a rookie pitcher, Quinn Priester. So I mean, I like the bats there. Washington against Kaufman. Yeah, I mean, it's Colorado. Washington's been hot. Hopefully, if we play Lane Thomas again, he gets 5 stolen bases or whatever the hell he just had. Cleveland against Yarborough looks interesting. Battle of the Mid, AL Central. I don't even think Cleveland's that worried. Honestly, both Milwaukee and Cincy look interesting here. Ashcraft versus Colin Rea. I like both bats there. The one issue with Cincy though is some of their tags are pretty expensive, but obviously you got Ellie, you got McLean, India, Votto. They're all pretty. I don't know what their tags are today, but these guys are just like one of the most like exciting teams in baseball, so they just yank up their prices. That should just about do it for stacks for me. Yeah, St. Louis, Arizona, San Diego, Dodgers, Washington. Grove doesn't get much strikeouts, so Toronto might look a little interesting. You can get to a mixture of stuff today, besides like the last like 5 or 6 stacks on the stacks tool, in my opinion. Um, all right, let's move on to the generator. Let's see what this likes right now. 431.
Mm-hmm.
Do balance.
Just
Do
throw
we
in.
just? I was just gonna say, do we just lock him in for now?
That's the good thing is like, as you can see from like the ownership share on the sliders, that it's not going to be all that chalky, even if you play 30% on Darvish, just because all the offenses are like 15-20% max on the top end for some of the stacks.
So we got a little bit of Washington, a little bit of Arizona, a little bit of Cleveland.
The GOAT.
I saw him in person do absolutely nothing. And I think they just added this not too long ago, the stack exposure, which is kind of cool. So, like, we got 68% of Arizona, 47 of Washington. I think that's good, interesting. Then you just see this
Yeah, I think Washington's going to pop a lot because they're cheap, and if you want to play Arizona, you need the tags.
for sure. Gurriel should just be 2K flat at this point. He's so bad. Steroid boy. And a little bit of San Diego. I mean, Soto 4K, Tatis 4.2. So yeah, you get this keeps doing that where I just save a bunch of lineups and I don't get fully 20. You can just export it to a CSV, go straight to DraftKings or Fanduel. Definitely a lifesaver. So, all right, go ahead with your home runs.
Gonna go Christian Walker from the D-backs, Jake Fraley from the Reds, and then Jose Ramirez from Cleveland.
I'm gonna go with JT Realmuto, Marcus Semien, and Mookie Betts for today. I think Mookie's due a little bit, as he probably just hit one out like yesterday. I took the over in that game, and that game was crazy. It hit the over in like the fourth inning. That should just about do it, though. Anything that I missed or you missed, anything just come to mind?
No, just be prepared for 30% Darvish to drop like 3 or 60. We'll see where it goes. Hopefully, it's not 3 because we'll probably play him. But make sure to check out our lineup about 15 minutes before lock. Maybe I'll be on my game today and I'll be out earlier. We'll see. Check out Stochastics tools in our description for the data we just used, and like and subscribe if you haven't already.